Hi players, bonjour from Paris. My name is Asaf Hirsch and welcome to my channel Easy Board Games. Today I'm going to review Frostpunk by Adam Kwapinski. Yeah? Is it that? Adam Kwapinski? Yes! I got it right. Woohoo! Anyways, so Frostpunk, this is a 1 to 4 player game of worker placement and scenario kind of driven game taking place in the 19th century post-apocalyptic era where everything is pretty much frozen. We are the last colony, or at least this is what we think, on Earth, and our own survival is actually thanks to this 220 millimeter beast of a generator that actually keeps everything warm, and we need to maintain this generator in order for us to continue and survive. So first of all, let's talk about the size of the game, all right? I remember when I took this game a few weeks ago, so I took the pledge, like the all-in, and I'm pretty much, people thought I'm delivering a bazooka because this came in a huge carton, so it was a lot of fun, or not, taking it in the street. Anyways, so I personally haven't played the computer game before playing the board game, but this is from the same creators of This War of Mine, which I love both as a computer game and a board game. Both of them are talking about survival, but This War of Mine is more like in the micro, okay? It's like really like individuals trying to survive some sort of a scenario, and here it's not, more like in the macro, so more like of a colony. So this studio is 11-bit. I won't tell you what bit means here in France, but 11 of those. As I said, I haven't played the computer game before I played the board game, so I sort of came, let's say, clean, you know, to this experience. So I don't need to compare or something like that. I just, you know, came to this thing completely clear-minded. So the first of all, when you open this box and the shock that you're having from the whole content that is presented to you inside, it's a little bit overwhelming. But the moment that you're starting to get really familiar with everything, it comes like an easier job every time. So let me show you a little bit what's going on over here. Is it okay? Yeah, we can see. Perfect. Anyways, so it's, yeah, there's a lot. Okay, this box is pretty chunky. It's a heavy box. I do feel like maybe the insert could have been better because it's true. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's true what is being said, that the setup and taking down the game back into the box can be a little bit long. It does help if you have a little bit more of an organized, you know, method to put everything inside. So the next time you already know where everything is. But again, I do believe that with a slightly a better insert, to have everything a bit more organized, it could have made things a little bit better in there. So I have to say that I don't really understand, because at some point I felt like it's more of like a complaint, you know, that it takes a lot of time to set up the board or to take down the game back to the box. I mean, the experience here is pretty unique, okay? It's an amazing experience with a lot of moving parts, okay? There's a lot of things going on the board. Yeah, this thing is huge, okay? It takes the whole table. But you know, nowadays, like, which game doesn't take the whole table? I mean, I came to this hobby like about a year and a half ago, let's say, from Gloomhaven to, I don't know what, the Darkest Dungeon, that just today I finished the first part of the campaign. Like, I'm trying to think which game doesn't take the whole table. I feel even games like I don't know, Tricarian, Anachron, you know, like these Mind Clash games or something like that, also take like a big chunk, if not the whole table. For me, it makes total sense, so I don't really know or understand so much what is the complaint. To me, it seems completely normal, especially for this kind of experience. But once the game is on the table, once everything is set up, it's goddamn gorgeous, okay? It's absolutely everything. I mean, these miniatures, okay? And I will show a little bit photos while I speak, but all the small miniatures, okay, the buildings, the trees, the resources, the small people, everything just looks good. I mean, aesthetic-wise, this game is crazy. Like the theme pops out from the table. You're like totally into this colony. You feel really that you're like taking up the call. Okay, you have these workers and the cards, and you have your kind of laws and the weather, and everything just like bring everything alive. I think I've said too much time everything, but really it's just because I'm super excited. I think this game is aesthetically incredible. So how does an average game of Frostpunk is going to look like? So I'm going to read to you from this very good player aid that I have over here. And in the first scenario, what we will do is going to start from the worker placement phase, okay, from the action phase. And we will send our workers to gather wood or coal or food to build something, to develop our technology. Maybe we will change some laws, we'll take care of the generator, and so on and so on. After that, we're going to have the dusk phase, which is basically in future turns what we will do. We will start taking some decisions. And with these decisions, we have consequences. And every time that we will choose to do something, we will be asked to add a card from one of the decks into this dusk deck. And every time that we will go to phase number 7 after the action phase, we'll actually resolve one of these cards. After that, we'll need to have to feed all the workers that we had and the children. Then we'll have the night phase. That means that we need to make sure that all the children, the workers, the engineers, everyone have a warm place to sleep during the night. If not, they're getting sick. And then we're going to start the new day, which is the dawn phase. So basically we are moving the round marker, and then we resolve if we have like a special event that is happening in this thing, or a storm or something like that. Then we're going to the morning phase, which we will need to draw a morning card and resolve its consequence. After that, we'll need to tend the generator, which basically means that we need to make sure that it didn't explode. We can fuel it again with coal and just make sure that everything is in order. After that, we'll have the weather phase, which means basically that we'll see how colder it pretty much got. And also because it's never, today is a bit sunnier. No, it's like how much it's freezing more today. And also we will advance our worker that went on an expedition. And in the preparation phase, we will basically choose one of the special abilities of our leaders, and also see what's going on with the sick that will become dead, that will trigger another something bad. Anyways, this game is not for the faint of hearted. I'll do say one thing about the aesthetic of the game. I feel that the miniatures, I mean, I'm not talking about this tower, let's say, okay, the generator, which I understand is a crucial part of the game because you have to put the like the coal pieces inside of it. But the miniatures itself, I do agree, or let's say that in my opinion, they're not so necessary, okay? It means that if you'll see in the picture right here, I had the miniatures, I played with them, but the game is already too big, you know, so the box with the miniatures I had to put on a chair outside of the table. So every time that you build a building and you take the tile and you put it on the board itself, on the table, sorry, and then you need to go to another box in order to find that specific miniature. I mean, it's not like every miniature is like completely and crazily different than the other one. It takes some sort of a search, you know. You need to take this piece of paper provided, and then you really need to look for it and then put it on the tile. I don't know. To me, it felt that it's more bothering to the playthrough rather than like doing something better for me. So after first or second time that I used the miniature, honestly, I pretty much sold it. Let's say I got this game from someone like that he pledged for the Kickstarter. So I just got this game for, I don't know, at around 220, 230 euros, something like that. And sold just the miniatures for 70 euros. So I felt like I did a pretty sweet deal, you know. But the gameplay itself is absolutely amazing. Okay, so first of all, just with the setup, okay, and the rulebook, because in the rulebook they're like, okay, we're going to set you up with the first scenario, and then later, if you want some other scenarios, you go find yourself in the scenario book. But the way they walk you through it really helped me to understand the game. Maybe again because it's, I don't know, it was really fluent, okay? So once you have it, the playthrough, it's like a little bit they throw you in the water, you know, into the deep water, and you immediately, because the first thing that you need to do is immediately the action phase, okay? You need to start placing your workers and start doing things and build, but you're like, wait, I'm not so sure which kind of buildings do I need right now, you know? And you do know that something will happen after a few rounds according to the scenario. No spoilers, don't worry about it. But I don't know, they just left you over there. So of course, I don't know, in the first time you're doomed to fail, but that creates this kind of like itch that has to be scratched. You know what I'm talking about? So it really, you want to play again immediately. Okay, I remember I don't know, after 5-6 rounds, I'm like, okay, this game, I'm not going to succeed in this game. So immediately I restarted it and I'm like, okay, now a little bit I understand it better, so let's dive right to it and try to learn from all my mistakes before. And then you fail the second time, but it's really not disencouraging you, it just gives you more, you know, this, I don't know, this courage that you need to start again and again until you get it right. So anyways, every game starts with a higher and a higher motivation until you actually succeed. And when you do get to this point that you have succeeded in surviving, you're like come to this point and you're like, if this and this are okay, you're survived, and you're like, yeah, I survived. I'm like, oh, hold on, let me check, and you're like checking, and you're like, holy goddamn mother of God, I survived. I survived the first scenario, and the feeling is amazing, you know? So you survived, you're like, okay, no worries. You're like, I need a break from this game. So you put everything back into the box, which takes a long time. Again, I wish there would have been a better insert, but all right. And while you put the things back in the box, you're like, yeah, I need to give this another shot, you know, even if it's the same scenario, okay? If you just feel that you haven't, like, I can do this better. So in terms of replayability, this game I really feel is, I don't want to say endless, okay, because it doesn't exist, but the amount of replayability you get from this game is absolutely enormous, okay? And I did the first scenario, succeeded 2 times, so you can, you know, it means that I tried to do it, or at least I set it up at least 6-7 times. We're talking about an average of 3-4 hours per scenario. Already we have around, I don't know, 30 to 40 hours of like pure fun, you know, that you're into this game. And this is one scenario. Now, multiply it by, sorry, I should have done my homework better, but I don't know, 10 scenarios that we have over there. And each not scenarios, I'm sorry, like different cards, okay, because scenario you have a little bit less, but each time you can start in different ways, and then each time you can either do the normal way or the hard way. It's crazy, okay? I can't even, you know, grasp it in my mind how many hours of gameplay you have over here. Another thing that I really liked during the gameplay is the quality of the production over here, okay? Do you know how much I missed cartons that when you put them on the table, they just stay fluffing cartons, you know, like flat? Because usually you're like taking a piece of carton, you're like, okay, this seems a bit solid. And then when you put it on the table, it's like, nah, we're just a pieces of paper layered upon each other. And now you need to play like this. Nah, not here, okay? You put a piece of carton on the table and it just stays flat on it. This is, I don't know, might sound like something small and insignificant, but for me it's like, yeah, nice. I really enjoy the quality of the material over here. I do feel that sometimes your game is going to be like the whether you're going to succeed or fail in your game. I do feel that it depends on the tiles that you have at the beginning of the game, okay, when you're just starting before you're doing the whole exploration. I mean, I don't know, could have been just my experience, but if I have a lot of tiles with trees that I can chop and have wood from them, I'm like, I will be okay. The game will be much better for me than if I have a lot of tiles with food or other things. But again, it can push you to just in this specific game, you'll go more to the exploration, you know, rather than building. You'll push more there. And this is something that I really like in this game. You won't be able to do everything, okay? You want to be able to keep everyone healthy and well fed and have all the buildings and go to all the expeditions, and you need to choose where you want to focus. So every time the puzzle is like completely else. I do feel that now it depends a little bit on you, because this game, of course, again with the replayability, you will have a lot of it's going to be repetitive, okay? So now the question is it for you? Because for me, it's definitely yes. I mean, when a game is good, I just want more of the same, you know? It's like when you see a band that you really like, and you're like, they're going to, did I say fuck? Oh my God, oh fluff, I need to change it. It's like, oh fluff, am I going to like see all their new album? I don't, just give me more of the same. This old school, the first, give me more Master of Puppets and the Enter Sandman, and give me more, I don't know, it can be anything, it can be John Coltrane, whatever. Just give me what I know and what I love, okay? Don't if this is a survival game, I don't want to have some crazy scenario or something that completely, you know, shoot us out from the theme. Give me more of the same, again, if this is a good game and if this is speaking to you. I will say the last thing that I will say before I'm concluding this what it's called? Review. Thank you very much, person that doesn't exist. If I'm concluding this review, I have a little bit of a problem. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when companies call to something expansion, when it doesn't expand the content of the game, I have a little bit of a problem with it. I'll give you an example. So here I have a box that can easily be half of its size, okay? This is a resource expansion. What does it expand, you know? Why not call it an add-on? I don't know, maybe again it's something like really small and petty, okay? I won't take it like in a bad way if you'll say it, but it sounds different, okay? When I have here the only true expansion in my opinion is like the Frostlander, that yeah, it adds some cosmetics, but also it adds new content like this 8 new morning cards, 14 new dusk cards and laws and whatever. So this makes sense to me, but when you take something like this Dreadnought miniature, this I have here a miniature, okay? And this miniature is called expansion. What does it do besides adding to the cosmetics of the game? Absolutely nothing. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's the only thing. For me it was a little bit like, why to call it an expansion? You can just call it an add-on. That's it guys, thank you very much for watching. Give me a comment, like, you know, all these things YouTubers say. And don't forget to, I made you look, right? How come, I have to ask, how come YouTubers always say like, yeah, leave me a comment down below? And I'm like, what is this? I mean, dude, I know where below is. Just leave me a comment below. Anyways, thank you very much, take care, and see you next time.